Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Unblinded Movement Huddle, where we create fun, simple, magical, micro distinctions in frictionlessness that free abundance in your money, time, and magic. And
Good morning.
Excited. Mr. Callaghy.
Yeah, go ahead, Fernando. I just want to say good morning. Go ahead, brother.
Yes, sir. Happy to have you here. Looking forward to seeing the shirt and the hair you have on today as you turn on your camera. And it's Mastery Monday. And today we're going to focus on different areas of mastery, of the formula self-influence process mastery. And I'll kick it over to you. I don't think I've ever seen that hoodie before. Actually,
There are many. What is this, the Lake Placid or no?
Yes.
Yes, that's where the miracle happened, brother. Miracle on ice. Good morning, everybody. Happy Mastery Monday. Want to drop in? Yes, this is the space to get our day rolling. So really been appreciative of the contributions, the energy, everything that everybody is up to in this space. And today what I want to talk about, I spent a lot of time thinking about the idea of leaders leading leaders. But I think if you're more new, and even if you're not, we can reinforce this concept. But if you're more new to the huddle, it's the idea of like not disconnected tips. It's like a way of thinking and operating within the formula, like the formulas. And so reinforcing pieces of it, having like clarity of concept is critical and a huge part of what we're doing. We're in our hearts, we're loving people, and that's a beautiful place to be. And when our hearts are full, we're loving people, then we accelerate. So first of all, let's just connect real quick. Like, what's in your heart? Like, what's in your heart as you wake up this morning? Not your head, not like our headline to us, making us afraid of things, making us like, oh my God, I got to do this thing and I feel overwhelmed. Like, that's in our head. Like, what does your heart know? Like, what does your heart know about the mission that you're on, the places that you're going, who you should be talking to, what truths you should be stepping into and leaning into, like your heart. So we begin like, let's get our heart, and now let's move on from there. Okay, so good morning. Happy Mastery Monday, Ecosystem Merger Monday, like the putting together of people and relationships, like ecosystems. Okay, so in the vein of Ecosystem Merger Monday, I want to reinforce some proof points about what we're doing and how to be thinking. So I was thinking about ecosystem merging this weekend. I was thinking about leaders leading leaders and what to share this morning. And as I always do, I was listening to a variety of different things over the weekend. And one of the things I was listening to over the weekend was Malcolm Gladwell's The Tipping Point. And what the tipping point, I think Malcolm Gladwell's work stands so beautifully for the validation of the formula and the things we talk about here. And if you're not familiar with Malcolm Gladwell's work, it's a compilation of so many different studies and facts and truths that exist in the world. And Malcolm Gladwell kind of putting some of them together to come up with larger, more macro concepts. But the micro studies that he cites are so invaluable as just truth and reality. And I think the most fundamental reality that the tipping point stands for, that I believe, and much of his work does, and that is as does the 80-20 principle, which he does discuss in The Tipping Point, is the idea of small inputs equaling large outputs. Small inputs equaling large outputs, number one, right? And this is, again, an ecosystem merger Monday. But number two is the non-linear nature of progress. Like, what does that mean? Like, what does non-linear nature of progress mean to you? Here's what I'm referring to when I say it. It means that, if we think in like eating, I don't know, Fernando, what'd you eat this weekend? What's something good that you ate this weekend?
Something good that I ate this weekend was I had barbecue chicken at my brother's house in Pennsylvania after working in the sun for 10 hours. And that was the most heavenly piece of chicken with this specific barbecue sauce that they have. And it was fabulous.
Okay, amazing. So it was chicken, like boneless or on the bone?
Off the bone. It was just the breast.
Got it. So chicken breast. So as Fernando was eating his delicious, after 10 hours of work, barbecue chicken breast and taking a bite at a time, each time you took a bite, Fernando, what happened to the chicken? So you took a bite, and what happened?
I took a bite. It tasted great. I ate the chicken.
No, what happened to the chicken? You took a bite.
Disappeared.
Yeah, ate, and how much disappeared every time you took a bite?
A piece of it.
Right. So you would have found it to be pretty weird if, like, you took a bunch of bites and no pieces disappeared, right? So you took like 5, 10 bites, none of it disappeared. Then you took an 11th bite and all of it disappeared. You'd be pretty freaked out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So from the time that we're born, we're conditioned, get a little bit of feedback, brother. We're conditioned to think in terms of linear. Linear equals action equal effect. Bite the chicken, piece disappears. Another bite, 2 pieces gone. 5 bites, 5 pieces gone. That's how we think. The world of acceleration in our business and what we're creating does not work that way. So we talk here at Unblinded in terms of simple, fun, and magical, co-creating simple, fun, and magical micro distinctions and frictionlessness that free exponential abundance and money, time, and magic. That's saying the same thing. That all of a sudden things pop. And that another way of saying, right, simple, fun, and magical micro distinctions is arduous or beginning to momentum, right, to abundance, right? So beginning, arduous, momentum, abundance. What most people do is they stop in the arduous phase and they're like, this doesn't work. I'm going to go over here and do something else. And once we, and that's what allows me to work 12, 14, 16 hours a day at what we're doing right now. And I've done it many times because I am so comfortable in my nervous system, in my heart of like, I'm going to get to abundance phase. I always do. Right. And not always in every dynamic, every relationship, but in the outcome, like the building of Unblinded. Like we're moving into momentum, early momentum, right? And we will be in abundance at some point in the not too terribly distant future. Because everything that I've built works that way as long as I operate within the formula. So it's up to me to determine if the outcome happens or not. It's not outside of me. It's not outside of you. Like the formula takes you through this process, right? And so when I was reading A Tipping Point, it's essentially what the tipping point's all about, is all of a sudden these weird, non-linear, and unexpected things happen. But all I'm sharing is, and I love Malcolm Gladwell, and well, actually, I think he's saying is it can be entirely expected. And the mistake that we make is thinking that all things, all people are of the same ecosystem value. Now, people have value, period. But there are 3 that he talks about, very special types of people. And the book validates it with scientific studies on these points. And those are called, ooh, a little bit of feedback there, mavens, connectors, and salespeople. Mavens, connectors, and salespeople. And he calls it the law of the few. The law of the few. And what the law of the few stands for is that to move from arduous momentum to abundance, to come up with a simple, fun, and magical micro distinctions and frictionlessness that free exponential abundance in our money, time, and magic, we have to realize that our love for somebody, their amazingness, their wonderfulness, right, does not make them a maven, a connector, or a salesperson. Not everybody is yet. Right? Not everybody is a maven, connector, or salesperson yet. And the people you're looking to merge ecosystems with through your Real Raw, through your 10 by 10 are mavens, connectors, and salespeople. Now, you also need some people for administrative support and operationalizers and we have other titles. But the people that lend to growth, right? the human-to-human interactive dynamics are mavens, connectors, and salespeople. And so quickly, the more that you're in tune with the dynamic, we could use whatever language you want. We say the quantity and quality of their ecosystem, right? The quantity and quality of their ecosystem. And that's an easy, way of saying the same thing. But if you want to think of it, and think of people in terms of mavens, connectors, salespeople, like Malcolm Gladwell's work, a maven is somebody who is an incredible social proofer or authoritative source. To go to Robert Cialdini's work of, social proof is a cornerstone principle of influence. So is authority in building your heroic, unique identity, your ecosystem's heroic, unique identity, what you're doing, the heroic, unique identity of it. So those are what mavens are. Like, their word is gold. If Consumer Reports says it at one point in time, I don't know if Consumer Reports is even that popular anymore, but at one time, if Consumer Reports said it, it's like, what is? So in the space that you're trying to operate in, who is the maven? Who's the person that says, this is it, and their word has absolute social proof and authority and credibility? Because they pride themselves on, if I say it is it is it, right? Those are mavens. And when you find those people, it takes longer, far longer, for them to agree and want to do the things that you would like. So they might require 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 interactions to have something happen. They may need studies. They may need R&D. They need to get to know you, validation. So your patience level with people like this is extraordinary. So therefore, you have to decide if they truly are the gateway to an unbelievable ecosystem of value with you, because it's gonna take time, real time. That's a maven, okay? That's different than talking to your best friend that you bumped into at a networking event, right? The challenge, the distinction, the line I'm trying to create on the right side is like mavens, connectors, and salespeople. On the left side are the randomness of the people you bump into, who could be your friends, who could be people you love, who could be people you're training, developing, mentoring. They could be administratively supporting. They could be executing tasks. But do not confuse them for the accelerants that are mavens, connectors, and salespeople. Okay. Salespeople take less time to connect with than mavens, but more time than connectors. Okay. So salespeople are incredible advocates for going from hello to incredible masters and going from hello to yes. I'm a salesperson. I have a little bit of maven, right? Because you could be all three at some level, but I'm a salesperson. I'm incredibly effective at once I believe in something. And by the way, some salespeople don't even need to believe in it. I do. Okay. So that's my mavenness at going from hello to yes with people. Now, what makes me less than a maven is because sometimes maybe I decided prematurely and haven't truly vetted the situation as much as a full-blown maven would, right? So, but truth is critical to me. Like mavenness is like truth, right? But I'm really great at going from hello to yes. So if I'm in your corner, I could design the messaging, who you are, support, validate also, in an incredibly persuasive way, much more persuasively than a maven can, right? In getting to a yes. So you're looking for salespeople that will influence hello to yes, their ecosystem and or your ecosystem and or another ecosystem because you're in their world. So let's start, who are any mavens that you know? They're pretty rare, by the way. So who are the mavens that you know? And more importantly, well, that's important. And equally importantly, are what ecosystems do those mavens have access to, right? And who are the mavens that are the people that could social proof and authority you into an ecosystem you want to be in? Like, so if you want to be in the ecosystem of television and a winning show, who are the mavens that decide who the next winning show would be? If you want to meet accountants, who is the maven that says, yes, this person is accepted into this accounting world? And by the way, it's geographic, like it's size. So Somebody might be on a national level, on a regional level, on a local level. So who are those mavens? There could be a maven inside of a 100-person accounting firm. They're the voice that says yay or nay and lets people in or not, like the maven, right? Who are the salespeople that are effectively in your world? Who are you building relationships with that can have, that see their future in you, that believe in you, that will hello to yes you into different ecosystems where you aren't yet, and or social proof you. It's like, hey, like you might have a client, an amazing client that you've done a great job for, and they could do a video for you. They could be a testimonial for you. They could be a reference for you. Or who are the salespeople that you know are like making things happen within organizations that you can align with? So second critical question or category for you today. Because remember, we're talking about how do you make big jumps? And it's like arduous, arduous, arduous. This is about how epidemics are formed. It's how like hush puppies became incredibly sellable again. It's how Donald Trump became president. It's how Barack Obama became president. It's how, Nike emerged as Nike when 50 other sneaker companies you never heard of didn't quite make it. Like they all went through arduous dynamics, and then they did certain things, and clearly their messaging met mavens, salespeople, and connectors. This is also why the real raw is so vital, right, for you, because the real raw gives you a platform to be meeting new people. In the meeting of new people, you're sifting for mavens, connectors, and salespeople for you to merge ecosystems with and expand, and also have become your clients and have those people take into new ecosystems as well. So the insular, the limited nature of most people leads them to not be meeting new people. Or here's the key. If you're meeting new people, how sticky is your messaging? So people be like, oh, dude, I just want to like meet this person. It'll be unbelievable. Okay, here you go. Get a 3-minute meeting in a loud and crowded like fundraiser or a bar or somewhere. And your message, didn't hear anything you said. Your message wasn't sticky. So we're looking for platforms and places that we can have more time to integrate and interact with people initially to convey your unique identity, see real raw, right? So this is, I'm enforcing this ecosystem merger Monday, how to be thinking about why things might feel more arduous to you, or if you're in momentum, your desire to jump from momentum to abundance is rooted in platforms to create, to find mavens, connectors, and salespeople, to find them, right? What's that system? And then second, to encounter them in a way that you open their listening and begin to have them see their future in you. And the real raw fundamentally is that the 10 by 10 is that as well. More challenging to get somebody to commit to a 10 by 10, and the 10 by 10 functioning, right, isn't such that it opens listening nearly as much as the real raw and creating vulnerability. So it's like onto your real raw, then into your 10 by 10 or into your 100, right? That's the dynamic. Real raw access point into 10 by 10 or 100, okay? The third category, so you have mavens, you have connectors, and you have salespeople. And we're going to reinforce some of this tomorrow on Trajectory Tuesday, so there's a two-parter on how you accelerate trajectory. The third thing are connectors. Connectors are just like, they know more people, they know loads of people, and they live to connect people. Mavens live to be right, to have truth. Like that's what a maven lives for. My word is what is. That's a maven, right? If I say it, it is. And I don't say it until it is, right? A salesperson lives on influencing others from hello to yes. Like, hey, I can't tell you for sure that the best body surfing break on the planet is like Long Beach Island, New Jersey, but it's an amazing one. And I love it. I know you'll love it, right? A maven wouldn't say it until they had scientific proof of like what absolutely is best. My mavenness knows that it's really, really great, right? And there may be others, but I know this one is great and I know you love it. Plus I'm here and you like it. Like that's how a salesperson operates with some mavenness. A salesperson who doesn't operate with mavenness is like, I don't really care, but let me see if I could convince people that like the Long Beach Island beach, I don't even body surf, but like, let me see if I could convince people that it's amazing. Because I just like convincing people. So a salesperson, like the mavenness factor in them will increase their need for truth, but salespeople get off on just like having other people say yes. That's like the core thing that emotionally drives their beingness, their significance, their meaning, their contribution, right? All that, their connection, okay? Connectors don't need to be right about anything. They just like, again, depending upon how much mavenness of it all is in them, but connectors just like connecting people. It's like, oh, you're single? I know a person. They haven't even thought about who you are, what you need yet. You just have to meet Mary. You just have to meet Johnny. You're single? Oh my God, I have a person. Like their vetting of the connection is super low. They're living on putting people together. So your job is to find connectors because they can, in every ecosystem, there are connectors. In every ecosystem, right? There are connectors. So it's to find those connectors, but then to vet, it's like, oh, you have to use John for your accounting. He's just the best. Like connectors will say that, not lying, but have no clue, right? They're just putting people together. It's like, yeah, I like John. I like you. Good, go, right? So, but connectors are super valuable because they have extraordinary amounts of people to bring your way. And this is why, again, the real raw is so valuable. If you're connecting with a connector or super connector, they can bring streams of people in the ecosystems, the avatars that you desire, whether they're lawyers, accountants, financial services, coaches, trainers, speakers, chefs, landscapers, like whatever the thing is, connectors can bring that. So as you're thinking about your expansion and where you are, your ecosystem velocity, your trajectory change will pick up tomorrow. The question becomes like, so why aren't I accelerating as much as I want to yet? Like, why aren't I? And we're going to look a little bit more deeply into this analysis tomorrow on Trajectory Tuesday. We'll pause there for today. Fernando, what say you, brother?
What say I? This was a beautiful call, a lot of distinction. I think I heard, or maybe I don't know if I heard in my mind, the word velocity. And now my mind is like putting all these different things together. I love the container of mavens, connectors, and salespeople. That creates a lot of clarity. And it also just, it creates value clarity on the power that is the real raw open. So that's a beautiful connector to put that all in. Awesome. Quick takeaways, like what was most helpful for you today, chat? Like I'm taking this away. I want to make sure I'm speaking into the listening of what you find folks in the movement, Unblinded ecosystem, Unblinded movement is hearing. So drop it in, please. It would really help me add more value to you, add more value to you. What was biggest takeaways? What are some unresolved questions? And I'll be we will commit to creating the best processes to give you that information. So again, happy Ecosystem Merger Monday, Mastering Monday, in your heart, right? In your heart stays alive, fresh, focused, full as you begin to make progress. And you are making progress. And sometimes you're taking a bite out of a barbecue piece of chicken, and in the world of business and your life, it doesn't disappear. It's not like eating stuff, but it still means you're making massive progress, and soon that piece of chicken will be eaten, you'll be nourished and flying forward. Yes, we are full of metaphors and analogies and all kinds of them. Forgive the mixing at times. Love you all. Happy Ecosystem Merger Monday, Mastery Monday, back tomorrow with the acceleration of your trajectory and checking in on some of your comments and questions from today. So takeaways, questions, thanks. Have a beautiful Monday.